Hey y'all, this is Dietra D and welcome to another episode of the Dietra D Show. I want to ask you guys to bear with me. This is an episode that's very close to my heart, a topic that's very close to my heart, and there's a lot to unpack, and I'm going to talk about things in no particular order because there are a lot of topics that fall under this umbrella, and it's the umbrella called mental health. I'm going to start off by saying that one of the things I prided myself on when I started my podcast was always being transparent, and that hoping that my words would help someone somewhere. So I'm going to start off this episode with a little short story about my own struggles that I had early in my life. In my early 20s, when I was in college, I attempted suicide. Now, of course, you know it didn't take because I'm here talking to you, and thank God for that. I was in college. I think I may have been about 20, maybe about somewhere between 19 and 21. And I was not living in my truth. And when I say I wasn't living in my truth, I didn't want to be in college. College is a wonderful place. It really is for those who choose to go. I was living my life based on what other people wanted me to do. I was very unhappy. Now, of course, at that time, I couldn't or wouldn't, for whatever reason, admit that to myself. Nor did I admit it to anyone else. You know, on the outside, I looked like I was fine. I was partying, hanging out with my friends, and I started drinking, and I developed quite a bad drinking habit. I was drinking all the time. It got to the point where one of the first things I would do when I woke up in the morning was grab a drink. And at that time, I didn't even realize why I was doing it or what was going on. All I knew at that time was that I was not happy at all. And it led me to try to take my own life. Again, thank God that I did not succeed. That was my first suicide attempt. There would be another one just a year or two later. After that second attempt, it was a long road for me to come out on the other side. I dealt with shame because even today in 2025, mental health can still be a subject that's taboo because a lot of people still do not like to admit that they're not okay. And let me just say real quick that it is perfectly okay to not be okay. It doesn't make you weak. So after my second suicide attempt, I had a long road ahead of me. But the day came where, as a lot of people like to say, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I make a joke. I tell people all the time, because I'm one of the people that a lot of other people go to for advice. So I make a joke, and I'm always telling people I'm an unlicensed therapist, because I've been through a lot of crap in my life. I just turned 53 years old, and I am so thankful that I'm still here. I want you guys to know, realizing that you're not okay and then trying to get help for yourself is a beautiful thing. Because again, a lot of people equate not being okay to being weak, and that is the farthest thing from the truth. Realizing first and foremost that you're not okay, and then choosing to go and get help for yourself, that is one of the strongest things that anyone can ever do. Because let me tell you, from my personal experience, realizing, finally looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself that you're not okay, that's not an easy thing to do. And then telling yourself, second, that you need help and you want to get help, that also is not an easy thing to do. Excuse me. That is not an easy thing to do. But let me tell you, when you finally make that decision, you're going to cry, you're going to scream, hell, you might even throw something. That's okay too. Now, of course, I'm not saying just act a complete fool. No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's okay to let your feelings out. It's okay to cry. A good cry can be helpful. It's okay to cry. It's okay to throw something every once in a while. Hell, I had a friend. She called me one day. This was maybe a couple of years ago, and she had her own bouts with the depression. And she called and told me one day, she was like, "Girl, I was having one of those days, and I just had to pull over to the side of the road and just scream." If you have to do that, do that. If you're on the road, just pull over to the side of the road and just let out a blood-curdling scream if that's what's going to help you to feel better. It's okay. There are too many people walking around that are just teetering on the edge. And some of those people, they have no idea what to do, where to turn. And like I said before, some people won't say anything because they're embarrassed. And I'm here to tell you again, you don't have anything to be embarrassed about. Go and get that professional help. If you have a trusted friend that loves you unconditionally, go and talk to him or her. There is somebody out there, trust me, that will listen and that will help you. One of the first things that I had to do was get into AA. That helped me as well. After I got through with AA, I sought professional help on and off for quite a number of years. And then after jumping in and out of therapy, I finally found a good therapist and decided to stick with them. I was in therapy for a long time. I'm not ashamed to say that at all. I was in therapy for a long time. But let me tell you, when I came out on the other side, I found peace and happiness. And that's what I want for y'all. Keeping things bottled up is never good. Keeping things bottled up will eventually break you, or God forbid, be your death sentence. Don't keep things bottled up. Talk to somebody. Hell, you might even need to be on some medication under a doctor's care, of course, because there was a time that I was on medication as well. That was during my early days of therapy. But no, keeping things bottled up is never good. And this is for everybody, but especially with me being a black woman, especially the black community. Because one thing that I've learned in my 53 years, in my community, mental health is still something that a lot of us like to sweep under the rug. In our community, people love to say, oh, all you need to do is just pray about it. Oh, well, girl, you just need some Jesus. I have no problems with Jesus. I have no problems with praying. I've never been one of those Bible-thumping religious nuts, but I do believe in God. And yes, prayer is good. Talking to God is good. But you need some actions to go along with that prayer. Prayer is not enough. You need some professional help to go along with that. There are so many people out there that are hurting. The single mom who's out there working several jobs and she's just exhausted because she has no help. A lot of married women out there, a lot of women think that just because they have a husband, that's all they need. That's a discussion for another episode. But there are a lot of married women out there that are unhappy because their husbands are putting them through all kinds of bullshit. There are people out there that are struggling with their sexuality. They don't know what to do. They're scared to come out of the closet because they're in fear of being judged. There are so many people out there that are hurting. And I want y'all to know, again, from personal experience, I can say getting help is good. There's peace and happiness on the other side of you going and getting the help that you need. There are too many people that are out here taking their lives. And every time I hear a suicide story, it just breaks my heart. I don't have to know these people personally. And it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to suffer in silence. I am really trying not to burst into tears while I'm talking to y'all. Like I said at the beginning, this is a topic that is very close to my heart. I just want people to be okay. Living in your truth is a beautiful thing. And you can't live in your truth if you're walking around unhappy. You can't live in your truth if you're walking around living your life based on what other people want you to do. You can't live in your truth if you're walking around with all of this rage and unhappiness bottled up inside of you. There is somebody out there that will listen to you. There is somebody out there that will help you. You do not have to suffer alone. I can guarantee you, just as sure as I am talking into this microphone, there is somebody out there in the world right now that is holding a handful of pills. There is somebody out there right now that is holding a gun in their hand. There is somebody out there right now sitting in their car with the engine running. And I hope that some kind of way that my voice reaches them. Because you don't have to end it. I can't say this enough. There is peace and happiness on the other side of getting help. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Anytime that I have the opportunity to talk to someone in person, because I'm usually pretty good at seeing when somebody is not okay. And when I have the opportunity to speak to someone in person, I tell them my story because I'm not ashamed. I shout it from the rooftops. Yes, there was a point in my early life that I was extremely miserable. And it got so bad that I tried to take my own life. I will tell anybody that. Like I said, I shout it from the rooftops because I'm not ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. The first step in being okay is admitting to yourself that you're not okay. Once you can admit that to yourself, you're on the road to recovery. Because I promise you, if you're one of those people that you cannot admit to yourself that you're not okay, I'm scared for you. Because if you can't admit to yourself, even if you're just standing alone in your bathroom and looking in the mirror, nobody is around you. Nobody can see you. If you can't even admit to yourself in that moment when you're alone and looking in the mirror at yourself, if you can't admit then that you're not okay, I'm scared for you. Because that means that you're going to continue on this path of bottling everything up. And I promise you, the day is going to come where all of that rage and misery and unhappiness that you've been carrying around with you for God only knows how long, it's going to eventually come out. And when it finally comes out, it's not going to be good. Please listen to me. when I say again, there is peace and happiness on the other side of getting professional help. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, something as simple as, hey, grab a pillow. If you're at home, grab a pillow. Put it over your face and just let out a loud scream. I've done that myself, and it has helped. If you can't do anything but just break down and cry, do that. A good cry never hurt anybody. Crying is good. It cleanses the soul. If you need to do what my friend did, if you're in your car and you need to pull over to the side of the road and just scream, do that. When I feel myself having one of those days, I'll put in one of my favorite CDs and just crank up the volume and just sing all off key and just dance around my house until I'm tired. I've done that plenty of times and it helps. It really does. Music always calms me down. It might help you. Do that. Grab one of your favorite CDs from one of your favorite artists. Put it on and just crank up the volume. Just let the music just fill the house and just wash over you. And just dance around the house. And just act goofy. Just enjoy the music. That helps. Something simple like that. It helps. But please don't hurt yourself. I once went to school with a girl who used to cut herself. Don't do that. Please. Put the razor blade down. Put the pills down. Put the gun down. And pick up the phone and call somebody. It helps. Trust me, it does. It helps. I'm still here because I got tired of being miserable. I'm still here because I finally looked in the mirror at myself and admitted that I was not okay. Stop being embarrassed. There is nothing for you to be embarrassed about. There is I'm not sure how many, but there are, I'm not sure how many, but there are suicide prevention hotlines. Pick up the phone and call one of those. But please, just talk to someone. Because again, it helps. And I can't say this enough. So I'm going to say it again. There is peace and happiness on the other side of getting help. You think better. You see things more clearly. You fall in love with yourself. I'm going to end it right there. There's possibly going to be a part 2. And forgive me, guys, my alarm went off. I don't know if you heard that. But I hope that this helped someone out there. I really do. Thank you for listening. This is Dietra D. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Dietra D Show. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.